Wahaha. Alright, so getting ourselves set up here. We actually need... Come on. There we go. Okay. Why can we not turn music off? This should be interesting. Let's see here. Hey Joseph, how you doing? And I have a feeling Live did not update its thing. Yes, it did not. Let's get the everything set up here. Figured I'd do something a little different today. Do a little there we go. Alright, so in theory that should have saved. Let's see. I can't complain actually. Figured I'd do something a little different today. You know, we've been doing a lot of Space Engineers on the channel and just wanted to break it up a little bit. And for some reason, I cannot get the music to turn off. Alright, so we are probably going to get all sorts of strikes on this thing. I really, really hate the UI in this sometimes. Alright, so have I looked at Simple Planes? I have looked at Simple Planes. Maybe next week. Maybe we'll do that next week. Alright. So let us see. The hell? Alright. Okay, let me see here. Okay, let's try this really quickly. There we go. Alright. Of course. Now it's... Alright. What in the hell? Okay, let me get this thing resized here. Sorry for the early stream issues today. Come on. It should not be causing quite so many problems. This is one of the reasons why I don't normally play the game, especially on stream. But, you know, it is what it is, right? Alright, so I think that gets us mostly set up. Sorry about the issues this morning. Let's go ahead and get... Whoa, that's way too loud. Okay. Let's get some non... Alright, so this game is called Wurm Unlimited. It is a... I guess you could say a standalone copy of a very old MMO called Wurm Online. Came out in late 90s, I think, It's been a long time, I know that. I actually played the game early on. This is one of the games... Well, this is the... So, okay, so history of the game. Because there is some drama here. For those who are familiar with Notch, the creator of Minecraft, before he created Minecraft, he was actually one of the people working on Wurm Online. He was doing the network stuff and some basic coding for it, I believe. It's been a long time. I don't remember the whole story at this point. But what happened was, while he was working on this, he decided to go work on Minecraft. So that's what he did, and the rest is history. So a lot of the things that you will see in Wurm, specifically in Wurm Online and Wurm Unlimited, even though they've revamped everything... Yeah, Golden Apple Notch. Way back in the day. This is actually, like I said, this is a game that he worked on before then. Now, since he's left the group, the company has changed names a couple of times, but it's still the same person who owns the overall company, and they've pretty much kept to their original vision. Now, they have updated the graphics a couple of times since then. They used to have what we used to call the elven. Everyone basically looked kind of like a half-elf wearing this green garb stuff. So there is now, you know, other things in the game. So you actually have animations now. You have a lot more stuff to do. Well, so to give you an idea of just how in-depth this game gets. Okay, so if you ever played Ultima Online, it takes a lot of cues from that. This game came out not long after UO. One of the inspirations for this game actually was UO. Okay, so you end up with 3 basic groupings of characteristics. These are your stats, your basic stats. So under your body you have strength, stamina, and control. They do basically what you think. Strength is how much can you carry, how much melee damage do you do. Stamina is how much endurance do you have, also impacts your health and health regen. And body control, I'm trying to remember, I want to say is basically like your dex, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I, yeah. So, now one of the things that I really like about the game is they integrated their out-of-game wiki with in-game access. So you can actually say, like here, you right-click on it and say find on Wurmpedia, and it'll bring up the information. Okay, so yeah, it's basically, you know, can you steal? Are you able to ride a horse? I can ride everything up to a brown bear. Okay. Now, your stats will change based on what you do in the game. So specific skills will increase or decrease these stats. There is no real cap, like in, oh, what's that game? I was one of the damn backers for the game, and I can't even remember what it's called now. Life is Feudal. So if you ever played Life is Feudal, the guys who developed Life is Feudal actually used to play Wurm. They were part of the Wurm community for a couple of years. So then you have things like Mind, Logic, and Speed. Mind Speed is if you go into a priest class and you want to... Here, I'll show you actually. Adverse situations like combat. Characters supposedly affects the chance to land a special move. Also been an influence timer upon item creation. So basically, the higher your mind speed stat, the better, the faster you'll craft. There'll be things like get special attacks, that kind of stuff. How often do the specials proc, basically. Mind logic is a really fun one. As your mind logic increases, not only will you be able to control more things, like here, actually, it looks like we can. Mind logic's 25, nice. So as your mind logic goes up, you can start queuing more actions. So what'll happen is everything in the game is based on a timer queue. Excuse me. And so the higher your mind logic goes, the more actions you'll be able to basically queue up in an order. And we'll get into that a little bit later because we're going to be doing some crafting, but for now... And then again, you have a religion, which is its own thing. Their religion is actually a separate system within the game, which we might get into at some point if I keep playing long enough. Now, like I said, this is a private server version of Wurm Online. So some of the things that you see here are actually a build or two, maybe even further behind what would be on the MMO side of the house. But they do eventually port most of the MMO code over to the Unlimited side. It just takes, you know, sometimes it takes a couple of months. But when you start talking about skills, let's expand this out a little bit. Hey Sharky, how you doing, buddy? Okay, so when you start getting into skills, as you can see, there's all sorts of stuff. And when you get into swords, it tells you basically, it breaks down by type. Knives will do the same thing. There is a difference between carving and butchering. So the carving knife is basically physical craft skills. So you're doing things like whittling wood, creating wooden items. You use a lot of the carving knife. So as your skills in any particular item increases, you will actually unlock new abilities and new things that you can do with that skill. Eventually, like if you unlock, when you get longsword up to like 25 or 30, you'll start getting new attacks. You'll get what they call stances. When you're in combat, you'll basically have these options to go fully defensive, fully offensive, or balanced. You'll get all these other things. Excuse me. And all of these things are based on, you know, like you might get special attacks with a sword. Your combat, well, where is the combat skill? It's in here somewhere. Fighting, there it is. So yeah, so when you get into this, you'll start getting things like aggressive fighting, defensive fighting, normal fighting. You can taunt, shield bash, you know, you can make yo-yos and puppeteering, and these things are actually good for changing your stats. Basically, everything in here has a purpose for being here. And with Wurm, what they did is they didn't want people to get stuck in a situation where you were continuously bound by what other people in the game were doing. So you could, in theory, max all of these to level 100. So yeah, basically, Life is Feudal is a, for lack of a better term, a simplified or streamlined version of Wurm. So, and everything that you do has an impact. Just walking around will increase stats, you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you, like I said, if you ever played Ultima Online, you're probably familiar with the type of system and detail that you get into with these. And then as you can see down here, I have a quick bar with a bunch of basic stuff on it. Now, I haven't played Wurm or Wurm Unlimited for probably 2 years now. So I am really, really rusty. So I will let everybody know this up front. Oh. But everything is done basically in real time. So the whole night thing, because technically the main server is over in Europe, it synchronizes. But so this is actually running on my machine. We can get a dedicated host for the game. There are a couple of game hosts that will run it. So we could actually do this up as a community game if people like what they see. Now, you do start with this whole little things. When you first start the game, you start in a protected area, depending on which faction you choose, because there is factions, there is PvP and PvE combat in this. Depending on the faction you choose, you can start in a starter town, and in that starter town, you'll get some basic quests that are like, you know, go chop down a tree, you know, chop the tree up into logs, bring it back. So, hey Mike, how you doing? Find other videos, yeah, right? Now, I will warn you, we used to jokingly call this Patient Simulator, insert current year. It is one of those games that, while you can be a jack of all trades, you really do excel by specializing. So if you wanted to do, say, toolsmithing, you would go blacksmithing through the toolsmithing line. If you wanted to do housing, you would work basically the carpentry line. If you wanted to build vehicles, you would, carpentry would be for, You have to get carpentry up to a certain point before you can unlock the shipwright. Once you unlock shipwright skills, then you can actually build boats, and they do everything all the way up to, you know, like galleons. But you start out making, you know, basic parts like sail masts, oars, planks, that kind of stuff. Yes, you can make houses, and the building system. Actually, let me see if I have my mallet on me. Oh, there it is. Okay, so what you do is, in order to use any item, you double click it, and it'll turn green. That tells you that it is now active. So you have to have a mallet in your hand, and I actually made that, and we'll walk through some of the crafting system. But what you do is, if you want to craft a house, you have to flatten terrain. Let me get away from this. And trying to... Why can I not... I'm trying to remember... Is it... Let me try this really quick. Oh, I forgot how to... There's a way to turn off the mouse selection. And it's been a while since, like I said, it's been a long time. Oh, that's the map. So this is basically the map that we have available to play on. Everything in here is terrain modifiable. You can actually add or remove to the terrain. You can dig holes. If you are next to the mountain, you can actually tunnel into the mountain. But it used to be... I don't remember. Is it backspace? No. Well, that's that. Alright. Alright, so... Alright, so house crafting in this game is based on your... let's close that tab. Yeah, so house crafting is actually based on your carpentry skill. The higher your carpentry skill, the bigger the house you'll be able to build. Now, you raise your carpentry skill by chopping down trees and then turning those trees into logs, and then turning those logs into various things like planks, sticks, staves, that kind of stuff. And then you make wooden tools, and as you make more tools, your carpentry will increase. Basically, you would need to end up making a bunch of planks. And it is, for some reason... Let me see here. We have a saw in here somewhere. There it is. And we're going to go ahead and go... You right-click on the item. So basically, you activate the item. You right-click on what you want to modify. And in this case, we are going to do construction material, and we're going to make planks. Now, I have three logs here, and what it'll do is it'll go to the first log to try to make a plank. If it succeeds, you get a plank. If it doesn't, it moves on to the next one. And then it does basically that same skill check all the way down the line. Hey, I created a plank. And we're going to go ahead and do this a couple more times. And so, as you can see, my carpentry has increased. I went from 5 point something up to 6.38. So my chance to create a plank has increased as well. And what will happen is based on the quality level of the item that you're using, and the quality item of the resource that you are trying to create from, will impact... Oh, look, we can drop you. Yes, I know. And we're going to go ahead and create a couple more. So... Yeah, but I'm not... So we have created another plank. Yay, planks. And then if I remember correctly, I think planks take... I don't remember if it's 2 or 4 material. So every material has a weight. and every item that you create takes part of that weight out. So what ends up happening is we end up, when you're creating a plank, you'll get the plank, but then you also get where is it at? Wood scraps. Now you want to hold on to the wood scraps. What you can do is you can activate a wood scrap. Actually, grab the one down here, and then what you do is you say combine, and what it does, it'll make one large wood scrap for you. And then what you do is use the wood scraps to make kindling, to make fires and such, and then you can use the rest of the wood scrap as fuel. Yes, Mike, it should look a lot like Life is Feudal, because the folks who made Life is Feudal used to play Wurm. That's actually how I met the crew from Life is Feudal, the original production team. We used to play on the same server in Life is Feudal many, many moons ago. So this version of Wurm, like you noticed, was released in 2015. The original game of Wurm came out, and I want to say in 2000 or 2001, something like that. It may have been a little bit later than that. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but yeah. When I first started playing the game, it had a really janky UI, and they eventually replaced it with this, and then they've just been making changes to the overall appearance of the UI over the last couple of years. So, now, one of the things to keep in mind, things like food. So we see how we have the raspberries here. The weight is how much of it you can consume, is basically how much is there to consume. So each time you eat a little bit of it, it's going to take some of the weight, and it depends on basically what it is as to how much of the weight you get. And then over time, it'll start taking damage. Basically, things like food can rot, and the longer it goes, the more damage it takes. So you RP as a panda. Okay, so the icon in the top right is the bit boss, and I don't know why we have lost the sleeping panda. So there's that. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm gonna have to go check and see the. I don't know if the pet is having a. There. All right, I have to be careful because they use the F keys for shortcuts, and the F keys are also the default keys for some of the broadcast stuff. So. Oh, let's see. Not focused, mission time, sleep stats, console. Alright, so I can do... Why am I not able... See, I'm trying to remember what it was... Because there's... One of the keys basically takes you into and out of mouse look. And I don't remember which one it was. Alright. Try refreshing, Joseph. Yeah, YouTube does not like me with titles, so. Alright, I need to check here. Raising controls. Oh. Let's see here. Trying to remember how... This is really annoying. So I should be able to right click on things, and I can't figure out, I cannot remember for the life of me how to... Oh, that's not what I was looking for. One of the... Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. See if we can figure this out here. All right, so they say all right, let's try this then. Let's go settings. We're going to go oh, lovely. All right. Let me get this thing back over here. Oh, look at that. And we don't even have that running. Okay, so that was entertaining. Alright, so I have to shut the server down. It won't even let me, you know what, let's go over here for a second.
If I catch any of you guys in my stuff, I'll kill you.
Nope, not there either. Okay, so hold on. Let me get a let me get something up here for you so you're not going absolutely crazy here. We want... Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh. It's all gone black, man! Oh! Alright. Oh, crap. Where's all my videos? Sorry about this, everybody. Let's go here. We're gonna go... Alright, this will at least get you... I'm gonna have to restart the server. Sorry about that, everybody. Oh, hey. Yeah, the game is giving me crap. Alright, here, let's see. Come on. Let's go. Yeah, it's just gonna loop for a little bit. Oh, man. Come on. Thank you. Minimize that. Move you over here. It should try, huh? Alright. Hey, look at that. Okay. Now, let's see if it's... There we go. Oh, okay. What? Hey, wait a second here. Alright, there we go. So, oh, wow, that is some janky UI work. Alright. They have so broken this thing. Okay, so there we go. This will get the point. Oh, maybe it'll get a point across. Oh, we'll see. Let's see if we can get this to work here. Where is my mallet? There we go. Okay, so if we can get it to actually highlight something. Well, yeah, if you do that, basically it takes away the overlay, but it doesn't actually do the mouse focus. Yeah, the problem is that I had to alt tab out, and when you alt tab out, it creates problems with the mouse detection apparently. All right, so let's go. All right. So let me set up. Let me check something really quick. If we do that, nope. Okay. So what I need to do then, alright, so I'm gonna have to restart the game one more time apparently. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch over to this one.
By catching you guys in my stuff, I'll kill you.
Turn that off, turn that off. Alright, check something really quick. Oh. Come on. Alright. I apologize, everybody. Later. I want this to be YouTube. This is going to be that. Okay. All right, let's try this now. Hey, look at that. Okay. Oh, we had it for a second. All right. Anyway, so when you have a mallet equipped, you can go over here, right-click on the block or the tile that you want to do this on, and you select Plan Building, and it'll give you a framework. Now, if your carpentry skill is not high enough, you're not going to be able to finalize. So what will happen is you say this, you finish planning the house, right? Now, you can add... Oh, have to get it to... There we go. So you can add to existing buildings. So if you want it to have just a very basic 1x1, you know, to get you started, to have a place to store things, you go ahead and plan that, finalize it, and then you can come back and add to it later. So, and then what you can do is you can actually choose if you want to do, say, a wooden wall. So you have arches, there's canopies, doors, double doors, portcullis, walls, windows, and wide windows. And then under timber frame, you get all sorts of other things as well, like a frame jetty, double doors, walls, or windows. Now, depending on what you want it to look like, you'll have different options. And as you go up in the carpentry and I think architecture, as you build more and more houses and more pieces of houses, your crafting skills for housing goes up. And when you start getting into things like there's a stone skill. Let me bring up the skills really quick. So there's like a so under carpentry, you will eventually get to a there it is, masonry. So once you get your stone cutting up to a certain point and raise the masonry skill up to a certain point, you'll actually be able to start making stone walls and houses. Yeah, no, the not. Yeah, I can't do the, you know, don't laugh challenges. All right, so we are getting a little bit better here. All right. So basically, once I launch the game, I can't Alt-Tab out of the game, or it will cause all sorts of problems. Okay, good to know. Let's go ahead and go here. So if we wanted to say, I would probably do, let's go. So if you do timber frame, you need wood and clay or your primary building materials. You'll still need things like nails and such as well. Rising World, yes, I looked at that game too. Yeah, so my big thing with Wurm is that, like I said, I've had a love-hate relationship with Wurm Online for many, many years. Back before I was doing YouTube and making YouTube videos, I spent a great deal of time in Wurm Online. I don't know, I put probably like 4,000 or 5,000 hours into the game. I was in Wurm. This is before I met my wife, obviously. I was putting as much time into Wurm Online as I was my real job. So I was actually putting more time in. I was doing almost 40 hours a week work, and then I would come home and do almost another 40 hours a week on Wurm. Because of the weekends, I basically sat on there for like 12 or 15 hours each day. Got a lot done. You level up really quick, but all right. So we are going to do... let's do timber frame window. I need a wood beam. So in order for me to make a wood beam, I need a log. And I have some logs in the area somewhere. I don't remember where I left them. I think I left them over here. And you know what? We have a bunch of crap in our inventory, so let's go ahead and drop some of the stuff that we have. And you can just drop this stuff on the ground, and what it'll do is there is a dynamic system. So if you see a little crate like this, it means that there's a stack of multiple things, not a single item. Now if you drop... let's go ahead and drop this. All right. And... drop that. Alright. So if you... let's see if I can... there we go, pile of items. So if you open the pile of items, it'll show you everything that's in here. Now, leaving things on the ground, like I said, will allow things to decay, and it'll decay faster as it goes. So the more damage it takes, the faster it'll decay over time. So. Really? Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it again. Like I said, I'm always looking for, you know, new games and such. So if people have game suggestions, I am always willing to take a look. And we ended up leaving a bunch of logs over here. Now this is the starter town. That's basically, if you choose this faction, the Gen Kellon, this is where you'll start. You'll start in here. You'll basically, there's a quest giver over there. The reason I'm so close to the town is because I want it to stay. With your first 24 hours in game, you get these buffs. Basically, you get, where it is, food. So this will decrease the amount of food that you need for the first 24 hours of in-game time, and that's with you being in the game. Even if the server is running, if you're not in the game, then it doesn't matter. It won't count it until you get to that point. So until you log back in. This is one of those games where you just kind of get sucked into it. We're gonna go grab this one. Pick up another one. I'm not sure how we doing. Yeah, we're a little encumbered. That's fine. Now we start the slow trek back to. So, but yeah, once you start getting into it, like my personal opinion is the best way to get into the game is to just sit down and get things done. because you have to spend so much time doing the background work that you end up with, I mean, there were days that I would sit down and would just start crafting things like blacksmithing. And when I came back, you know, when I actually stopped and thought about what I was doing, I'd noticed 5 hours were gone. Banished, Rising World from the Depths, Medieval Engineers. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Banished, actually. I have it. I've got, I think, like 100 hours or something like that in it. It's a nice game. I mean, it's very pretty, and I actually do like RTS games. But that was one of the games it never really grabbed me, you know? Rising World I may play. I know that it's kind of like a Minecraft style game. I might play it. From the Depths. I tried it, didn't like it. It's a little too much engineering. Medieval Engineers is fun. I'm waiting for so we will be doing Medieval Engineers on the channel. We're just waiting for the big update to come out. Besiege? I actually have played Stranded Deep. I thought I played Besiege. I have to check. So yeah, I almost got into actually got into Stranded Deep. I don't know. It was interesting, but I think because I was looking at it so early that there wasn't a lot to do. I know that they've made a lot of changes to the game, where there is now there's a lot more to do. The farming actually matters. You get the seeds for the different types of plants, more food items. So I might play Stranded Deep again. Slowly working our way back. Okay. All right. So now that we have taken that 20 minutes to walk over to grab the logs, we're gonna make some construction materials. We're gonna go ahead and create some more planks. Oh, hey, hey, we created a plank. Look at that. The Siege has multiplayer now. Really? Interesting. Maybe I will play that. We want construction material. So, remember we were talking about the crafting queue? Basically, if you have multiple items that you're trying to do the same action on, you can queue them up. So what you'll see is when you do it, it'll say, after you finish creating, that basically tells you have another item in queue, right? So if we go like this, and we say plank, and then we come back and we do that again, you'll see it say, okay, so it's queued up, and now it tells me I'm too busy, so I've hit my max on that queue. And we're basically just going to keep doing this until we have a lot of planks, because we're gonna need, I think it's 10 planks per wall. And as you can see, my carpentry is going up pretty quickly. And then each time we create a plank, it takes four of the weight of the log. Two of that weight goes to the plank, and 2 of it goes to the scrap. And we were talking about the scrap earlier. So as you can see, we've got a bunch of scrap here now. And what we can do and we go one more plank. All right. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to drop the wood scraps Alright, so we're gonna open this up because we can. Now, this pile of items actually does... You will eventually hit a capacity. The tile can only hold so many items. And that's not based on skill, that's just a DB setting. So we have this really large chunk here. So we're going to grab this. And we are going to combine all of them. So now we have a 37 weight wood scrap. Alright, so now we should be able... Yes. See, we are moving much faster now. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to go grab 2 more logs, bring them back, and make some more planks. And like I said, basically what we're doing is we're trying to get enough material together to be able to get our first wall done. Pottery bowl. Why is there a pottery bowl over here? Just like random things dropped out and about around the world. Okay. Sure, whatever. Emmy does need naval battle. I thought they were doing irrigation. I thought that was that's on the list of things to do, isn't it? Or did they change that? Alright, so we're gonna grab this. Minecraft? No, thank you. Oh, I spent many hours in Minecraft. Yeah, it's like I have a love-hate relationship. That's another game I have a love-hate relationship with. Like I said, I actually started playing that game because Notch was one of the developers of Wurm originally, the old Wurm Online. That this game is derived from. And so when he started working on that, you know, a bunch of people went and tried Minecraft, and some of us liked it. Come on, you are a young boy. Okay. Alright, so we're going to drop this. And the reason we're dropping that is because we're going to go grab the other 2 logs. It's going to take me a minute to get over there and back. So, but yeah, if you like games where you actually have to spend a lot of time perfecting what you do in a game, this is one of those games that you'll probably enjoy. Because you do have to spend a fairly decent amount of time, you know, just getting the basic stuff, just getting materials in order to craft. As you see, I'm going back and forth to pick this stuff up. You can actually get to the point where you'll be able to plant. You can plant trees. You can harvest sprouts and. Alright, you know what? Let's do this. I think it is a shovel that we need. Yeah, so we're basically destroying the tree stump so that we can get to the logs that are under it. And look, there's a giant spider over in the distance. So basically what we're doing is once you get to the point where you've got the tree stumps and stuff, you often need to remove the tree stumps in order to basically be able to modify the terrain, or if you want to plant something else there. So all right, so now we do the slow crawl back to the base. Yeah, Techic is pretty interesting, actually. What was the other one? There's a game, like it's a standalone game that is basically Techic, but as its own game. It's not part of Minecraft. It's not a Minecraft mod, but it's a game that plays like Minecraft. Would it not be faster to hit your head on the tree stump? Yes, it probably would. A 44-gallon slushy? Wow. I would give it a valiant effort. A 44-gallon slushy. That would be kind of cool, actually. No pun intended. Now, one of the things that I do like about the crafting system in Wurm is that you have the different trees. So there's oak, there's olive, you can have apple and cherry and a bunch of other things. Depending on the wood that you use to finish whatever you're building, like if let's say you're building a boat, if the last wooden part that you add is made out of cherry wood, your boat is a cherry wood, whatever boat type it is. Did we play? No. I know what you're talking about. No, that's not the one I'm talking about. It's basically it's a sci-fi version of Minecraft. The background story is that your character has crashed on this planet or is stranded on this planet, and you need to find resources, build a system, basically to get an assembly line going, to build a ship to get you off the planet. Oh, and it looks like we have sunrise coming up here shortly. Oh, man. But yeah, so everything in this game is based on quality level. The better the quality of something is, the longer it'll last. The more hit points it has, or the more damage it does, the easier it is to use. So you do have a reason to level up, well, basically to get better at whatever skills you're using. Oh. And what's funny is that even though this is painfully slow walking because I'm overloaded, I am slowly increasing my my stamp, like my character's stats. Planet Nomad. I actually played Planet Nomad. I played Planet Nomad when it was in its closed beta process. It was an interesting game. You know, a lot of fun, but not for me. It is good, though. It is a good game. I might play it. I don't know. See, what I need to do is I need to figure out... can we take... Thank you. Alright, so now we're going to grab our saw again, somewhere in here. Where did my saw go? There it is. And we're going to create more planks. Why? Because we can. So we need to get our carpentry skill up to like 20-ish or so to be able to build good stuff. At 25, I think it is, and we'll unlock some new things. Alright. But yeah, this is basically what I was saying, is that you'll sit here and you'll do a lot of this grind crafting. You know, this is the reason why Minecraft is a little bit faster, because Notch didn't I don't want to say he didn't like the way the game was designed. He felt that it would be more approachable if it was faster and easier to play, which is where Minecraft comes from. So at least that's the story that was circulated back in the day. And the thing is that this game actually does have survival aspects like food and water. You actually do have to eat. Now, you won't die of starvation, but you will get to the point where you basically can't do anything because you're too hungry. Yes, thank you, Shark. Appreciate that. So we're going to make a few more planks, and then we will see if we have what we need to start making walls. Because I think I need nails to actually plan a wall. And if we need nails, then we have to go find iron. And finding iron is a pain. See, when I was actually actively playing the game all the time, I spent, I think, 2 days, like real days, of a couple of hours each day, basically trying to find a spot with iron. I think we need nails. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this. I want to grab the giant's wood scrap. And we're going to combine them all. There we go. And then we're going to put the wood scrap back. We're going to drop the planks off, so we have 35 planks. And I think that, you know what, let's go ahead and drop those. And, okay. Alright, so go ahead and close that up. So let's grab our mallet. And we're going to put a... where do we want to put the door? Let's put the door... Yeah, we'll put the door here. There we go. So we want... Let's go wooden. We're going to go door. So yes, we need iron nails. Large iron nails. Okay. Let's go see if we can find us some iron. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate that. But yeah, like I said, what I'd like to do is let's see if we can find a game that we can get more of the community involved with, because I want to start doing community events. And this is actually a good game for community building if everybody in the community is willing to play it for extended periods of time. It's like you don't have to play, you know, hours on end every day, but you do have to kind of play regularly. Especially if you have people who focus on, say, toolsmithing, because the better the tools, the faster you'll get things done. Is that a horse over there? I think that's a horse. So the developers were nice enough to put some roads in, because as you can see, you move much faster on roads. You can actually tame horses. So you could, if I had the materials for it, I could basically give him food and try to tame him. There's chickens, there's a calf over there. And all of these things are things that you will use at various points in time in the game. So, Simple Plains has a multiplayer mod? Interesting. So yeah, it's an old horse. So creatures in the game do age as well. So, you know, they're basically, that's their form of decay. If you have an animal that you are very fond of, you can actually, if once it's tamed, you can right click on it and it'll say take care of. There's an option to take care of. Basically it's a favored animal, and it technically won't die normally unless it's killed by a hostile creature. So I actually need to get the pickaxe. I keep doing that. Young sheep. So you do want to be careful, because like I said, there are hostile creatures out here. There are giant spiders. There will be bears. I've actually gotten attacked by 2 different wolves. There are feral cats, basically bobcats. And then what you can do here is you can actually start climbing. And this is actually good for getting stats up. Hey, Demon, how you doing, buddy? Alright. So, now we can do prospecting. And Now what we're looking for is hopefully it'll tell me that we've got iron in the area. Only rock nearby. That sucks. Alright, can we at least... Let's see if we can rummage something useful. Am I drinking tea? Not right now. I only have water with me today. I haven't actually made any tea today. I need to. Oh. Hey, I found some flint. Area looks picked clean. Now you can actually check items within a tile from where you are. Yeah, so basically, because I searched that first tile here, each tile connected to it has a reduced chance of having something in it. Yes, we need an ore scanner. Very much so. Now, there is an NPC merchant in the game, and the NPC sells an item that will allow you to turn stone into other material types. They are extremely expensive in the game. That is their balancing factor. But you can do it. And I want to say it's 3 blocks you need to go. Maybe it's 5 blocks. I used to know what the hey, look, I just left the protection of our region. We're in the wilds. Ah! Ow, 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 ow. Oh. Ouch. You took some falling damage. Be aware of the terrain. Oh, okay, so we're hurt. We have to wait for that to go away for us to get our movement speed back. Hey, look, a young rooster. Okay, so we got our movement speed back. Yay. It's basically just don't take any additional damage for a set period of time. And we're going to have to start changing our UI up here a little bit, too. Young sheep. And what I'm looking for is an area that we can get to stone without having to climb up the side of a cliff. So nah, it's fine. Oh, young hellhound. That's not good. Young horse. Lots of horses over here, at least. Three inches of snow, yeah. Does seem to do that, doesn't it? Alright. Okay. But yeah, that's basically what I was saying. You need to look out for wild creatures, because there are all sorts of creatures, and it's not like there are regions where certain creatures will, you know, or certain level creatures will show up. You know, you have a chance of getting basically any creature in any region. There are areas that they will favor, but there's no guarantee that you will or will not run into those specific creatures in specific areas. Alright, so we're going to go here. We're going to rummage first. Looks picked clean. Okay, so let's go ahead and prospect. Any reapers in the water? No, no reapers in the water. God, could you imagine the Subnautica creatures in this? Hey, we got zinc nearby. That's good. So, actually, did F2? No. Is it prospecting? That's foraging. Okay, so remember we were talking about carpentry skills, and as skills level up, you'll unlock new things. As you can see now, we have the toy making skill, we have fine carpentry, because our carpentry has gotten up to level 10. So we can actually get into like bowery and fletching now, so we could actually start making ranged weapons. And we are actually looking at prospecting. I want... I don't care about that. And we want... where's it at? There it is. We want prospecting. Okay. There we go. And... interesting, it's not updating properly. Buses are getting cancelled. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and... let's try changing this one to prospecting and see if it gives us the updated skill. Nope. Alright. So let's go see if we can get up here. We're going to toggle our climb so we can climb up the hill again. Now, there are certain plants in here, like you'll find, what are they called? Thorns. You basically can find thorn bushes. You can actually use those for defenses against the animals. They, everything that passes through it takes damage, including players. And we are going to prospect here. Oh, man. So what do you guys think about Wurm so far? You liking the game? You don't like the game? Want to see more of it? Oh, silver, iron, and sandstone nearby. This is where we should have set we should have set up our house down there. All right. So what we're going to do then is we are going to do a little bit of mining. We're going to tunnel into the terrain here. Now, I think we should be able... let's see if it works. So basically what we're doing is we're trying to tunnel into the terrain. Diggy diggy hole. And I'm gonna fall again. Too far away to do that. Why am I too far away? I was just... there we go. And let's see if we are able to stay here. Hopefully. Yeah, so the building, like I said, it's if you've played Life is Feudal, it's very much like Life is Feudal. It's basically you have to get your skills up to get the materials that you need. Once you have everything that once you have your skills where you need to have them, then you can actually start making things. And we are going to see if we can... there we go. Drink some water. I actually haven't played Space Engineers today because since it was a patch day, didn't want to risk it. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this. But after all the fun that we've had with this, I'm starting to think maybe it wouldn't have been a bad idea. Alright. So we're going to tunnel in here. So yeah, like I was saying, is if you've played Life is Feudal, for the folks who have played Life is Feudal, you're going to notice a lot of stuff that's very similar. Because, like I said, it was this game. Life is Feudal was based loosely on Wurm. It took a lot of cues from it. It was inspired by. So. What sucks is that this is one of those. It sometimes it's basically RNG. So we're going to try and get our prospecting up a little bit better. What I need to do is I need to bring over a bunch of dirt and basically create a little platform right here. So we're going to look down, we're going to turn off climbing, but we're going to try and walk backwards to keep us from falling too far down. There we go. Now we got our stamina back. We climb up, do it a couple of more times. Hopefully knock a hole in this thing. It'll be awesome if we found iron like directly behind it. Because with my prospecting skill so low, it's going to be within tiles. It's like maybe 5 tiles or so that it should be. And we basically are just going to keep doing this until we get an entrance into the hillside. Beaming drive, really neat game, interesting. Auto miner. Oh, an auto miner would be awesome in this. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to do something a little less sci-fi and not quite as intensive as Medieval Engineers, as far as the engineering aspects of the game. Because like I said, I really do enjoy Wurm. It's Imperial Mining Cannon. Man, could you imagine mining cannon? That'd be awesome. And as you can see, we have spent enough time in game. Basically, we are healing slowly over time. And I don't think we're going to have enough stamina left to try this one more, but we'll try. So we have 2 pieces of flint. So with the flint, we can actually use that to make items. Kind of really, not really. Hey, look at that! We got some rock shards. That means we are getting close to breaking in. Come on. I'm trying to remember how many rock shards you have to pull out before you break into the tunnel. And so the rock shards they're talking about basically are right here. It's just stone material that you can use for crafting. I'm actually surprised it's letting me get away with this. I think I found the one spot that I can stand. And as long as I don't move from this spot, we're okay. We mine some rock shards. Okay, well, we're gonna keep mining, damn it. See if we can break into this thing. I'd really like to open this up. Chipping away at the rock. Come on, we can do this. Come on, tunnel. So, but yeah, one of the reasons, like I said, one of the reasons why I enjoy the game is because it is rather relaxing. Because you basically can sit here and just do this for hours on end if you really wanted to. So, avoid the butterflies and they'll be fine. Exactly. People don't believe me. Butterflies are evil. Anything that's that cute, you should know but not to never trust. Come on, there we go. There we are. That's a lesson I learned the hard way. What was that? That looked like a hellhound. Is that a hellhound or is that a cat? I couldn't tell. It might have been the wildcat. We'll know here in a second. I should fight a hellhound. It will eat me. So this is one of those games that if you die, there is a death penalty. You basically will lose some of your skills. So only some of the hostile creatures will outright kill you. Like if they knock you, most of the time they'll knock you unconscious. Hey, look at that. We'll soon create an entrance. So things like hellhounds and there are basically like these demon-like creatures that show up in portions of the map, but they will, basically those will kill you if they knock you out. So, and what'll happen is your skill loss. I'm trying to remember if. Hey, look at that! Ah, come back! Come back! Oh, okay, there's a young dog. Okay, so we can now climb up here. So the pile of rock shards. Never kill a panda. Let's see here. That should give us how. Ah, now we don't have to climb. We can stand here. Alright, let's open this. Try that again. Oh, it's because I'm inside. Ah, no! Okay. So in order to get this, we have to do that. Alright, so as you can see, we've got a bunch of shards here, right? Sometimes you will mine out gems, so you'll find like diamonds, sometimes you'll find like copper ore, or you'll find various things. So you definitely want to check the pile. The easiest way to know that you've picked something up other than stone is that it'll become that little crate that we showed you over there. Now, as our prospecting gets better, what we'll be able to do eventually why am I don't want the tall border. Alright. Alright. So because of the mouse issue, I'm not able to target what I'm trying to target. But normally what you would do is you'd walk in here, you'd prospect, and it would say, you know, X, whatever is, you know, whatever the resource is, if there's resources in the area, is, you know, X blocks away or is near or whatever. So, okay. But yeah, so that's basically tunneling. So I'll deal more with that off camera. We are going to pick up. Let's grab that. Alright, and then if we use... what is it? We need a chisel to use this. Which I don't think I have. No, I don't. Alright, so we'll drop that off. So if we use this with the flint, how about if we use the flint? Oh, I don't have any sticks over here. Okay, so we at least found an area for iron, which is awesome, because that means we can come back here later, basically mine that out and start getting some iron. And when we come back next time, we'll have some, hopefully have some nails, and I'll walk you through the process. Because what we're going to need to do is I'm going to need those rock shards. We're going to have to make a forge. And that's going to require clay, the rocks, I think some stone. But it's going to be more resource gathering. So, I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. I want to thank you all for stopping, and hopefully you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun playing a throwback game. You know, brought back a lot of interesting memories. And before anyone asks, that line is not a graphics error. That is a marker for where. So there's two religious factions, right? There's a white side and a dark side. That's the altar for the evil factions. So there's when we get around the hill. That's a rooster. Okay. Make sure we're not being followed by the hellhound. But when you get around here, you'll see another column like this, but it'll be what? Oh, there it is. And that's what they call the white lighters. So basically, the good faction. There's three gods that are on the good faction side, and one that's on the bad side. So. And yes, when I was playing on the PvP servers, I was Dark Lighter, so. Because they have some awesome abilities. One of them, if I remember correctly, is corpse consumption. You basically get to eat the person so they don't get their skills and stuff back. Oh, you can cannibalize. Oh, but there was some good stuff. Anyway, we're going to head back to the base. We're going to get some rest. And I think we're going to go ahead and call that one here. So I want to thank you again for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit those like buttons. If you are new or haven't done so already, I also do ask that you subscribe. Because, you know, the likes and subscriptions and even the comments help me know that you are enjoying the content. And that's what I want to bring you, is more of the stuff that you enjoy. On that note, we're out of here. Hope you all have a terrific day and enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll see you back here next time for, I don't know, well, probably Space Engineers, unless you guys really want to see Wurm again. If you want to see Wurm, then we'll do some Wurm next time. Anyway, take care and be safe out there, everybody. If I see people killing pandas, yeah. If I see people killing pandas, I would probably run, yes. Take care, everyone.